people are passionate about outdoor equipment.
Get this, Americans spend $30 billion a year on gear.
But no one ever really sees how their stuff gets made.
That's where we come in.
Made for the Outdoors. Made for the Outdoors is presented by Warner's Dock.
Welcome to Made for the Outdoors. There are a few products that have completely changed the game when it comes to spending time in nature. And one of those is detailed navigation apps. Whether you're off-roading, hunting, fishing, hiking, onX is allowing people to plan and execute outdoor adventures with confidence and ease. Let's go to onX headquarters here in Missoula, Montana, and see how they bring their maps to life. The onX story is the quintessential American dream. Founder and Montana native Eric Siegfried was an outdoorsman with a problem. I'll let marketing director Zach Sandow explain.
It all started from a singular problem, which was I want to find places to hunt on public. I know they exist. I can see them on a paper map, but I can't see my location on there. And that's really how onX has started.
Eric saw the need to gather all public information and assemble it in one place. And so he did just that by way of GPS chips. But that was only the beginning.
It started to expand into, I need to find new trails, I need to find places I can go off-roading, and now I want to go fishing, but I need to find a new lake and actually know the regs and what type of fish are in there and everything there. It's really just focused on how can I be confident when I'm doing whatever activity.
Today, onX has 4 verticals: hunt, off-road, backcountry, and most recently, fish. Each offering begins with gathering data.
I'm one of the managers on the geospatial team, and our team as a whole is responsible for acquiring all of the data that you see on the map. Property boundaries, roads and trails. A lot of our base map comes from federal sources. We also work with state agencies as well as county and local government, all the way down to individual outreach, specific people who might have a real boutique trail data set that we can't find anywhere else. Our team of 5 has made over 8 million updates just in the first half of this year on the parcels in the US.
Federal and local agencies are a great resource. But for the off-road platform, one of onX's most valuable sources is none other than their users.
The Trail Guide program is a group of off-road enthusiasts that run trails all across from Canada all the way down to Baja, Mexico, and they submit them to our app. We have 20,000 trails in the app now. We're stoked for that.
After data is collected, engineers organize it in a way that's easy to digest on screen.
What I'm doing here is I'm working in GeoStore and I'm looking at our production. We have multiple line geometries representing one trail. They've been stacked on top of each other over time. And so what I'm doing in GeoStore is I'm taking and I'm removing the duplicated trails and I'm relating them to one entity. And so when the customers click on it in the future, they will see and return one geometry with many different attributes. Less clutter on the map, but we're not taking any of the content away. We're just cleaning up the geometries, the entities, so still get all that rich information.
Wes primarily works for backcountry, and within that, there are numerous modes. But his personal favorite is ski mode.
I am an avid skier, so I use it quite often. A lot of the times my ski partners and we will sit down and we will plan what our route is intended to be that day. We will pull up layers like slope angle to decide what kind of tools we will need in the field. Will we need micro spikes? Will we need an ice axe? Will we need crampons? Also, we have the avalanche forecasts that come directly from avalanche centers. So you can see those real time and be up to date with the avalanche forecast. That's huge before going out in the field.
While Wes works on the backcountry app, Brett Van Dyke focuses on the hunt platform.
So my job specifically is to work on things for the iPhone, and then even more specific than that is to work on things for the iPhone, for the Hunt app. Think compass mode, wind calendar, range radius, rangefinder integrations, things that hunters use specifically is what I work on. It'll start with the developer like myself. I'll make something and refine it to be a usable state for people, and then we can make a build, shout it out to employees and send it to them. They can download it on their phones and then they can test out in the field.
onX's features don't just make adventure easier. Some have won major awards.
My primary job is kind of working hand in hand with our product managers to help bring a lot of the ideas and visions to life with our engineering teams. One other feature that I really loved was the recent imagery, and that was taking in new satellite imagery and stuff that is recorded and delivered to us every 2 weeks. So users can go back and look at it and see like, oh, was there snow on this pass in the last couple weeks, or what's the melt look like? But now that we've had it for 2.5 years, it's also now become a historic tool too. So you can go look back and be like, what was the snow like 2 years ago? And so users can kind of cross compare, and that was one of the first awards we won from Time Magazine.
More from onX when we get back on Made for the Outdoors.
Made for the Outdoors is brought to you by Warner's Dock, Aquarius Home Services, KFI Products, Walton's, Keystone Light. Here's to living smooth. Celebrate responsibly.
Welcome back to Made for the Outdoors. We're at onX headquarters diving deep into the world of GPS navigation maps and, more importantly, meeting the folks that bring them to life.
That's always been onX's mission, giving folks confidence to go try something different and go out to a new spot. There's limited time for everyone in the outdoors, and we want it to be the best spent possible.
Having the best experience starts by having the best features, and that's where the engineers come in.
We usually have a set of features that we're trying to get out to customers. My job is to actually make those features come to life. A couple years ago at one of our company hackathons, one of my coworkers, Joe, he had the wonderful idea of being able to connect to a trail camera. When a trail camera takes an image, then we would be able to ingest it in onX and then show it in the app. onX decided that was a cool feature, so now we have that available for customers in the app. Your cell camera images will automatically come into onX, and then you can also analyze your photos, see what time of day they're coming in, what wind direction is the best for animals to show up. As far as how we decide what to work on, customer feedback, number one.
Listening to customers is what led to the newest vertical, onX Fish.
Fish has been really fun to be a part of and building it from the ground up. We are bringing in survey data, DNR level insight data, digging into this data, investigating it, summarizing it. And then we also, bring in all the authoritative boat ramps and water access sites, shore fishing, pier fishing, and we're displaying those on the map and connecting them to the lake. So before you even go out to a lake, you already know probably where you're gonna fish on that lake, where you're gonna access it from, and all the species you're gonna target before you even step foot on the boat. So all that time and energy to go into there, we're solving it within just a matter of moments.
While Branded sources data, cartographers build detailed maps of lakes and waterways to support it.
I'm a cartographer, so I'm responsible for what the map looks like. This was a pretty groundbreaking technique that we developed where we were able to take the shaded relief, which is grayscale, so it's just the black and white shading, and then we took a color gradient and we were able to overlay those and blend them together into a single layer and then add that to the map. That's a technique that gets used a lot in print cartography but hadn't really been done very much in digital cartography, and so that was a really cool project to work on. I like to fish, I like to hike, I like to run, I mountain bike, just sort of the things that everyone does when you live in a place like Missoula. And so it's I'm always thinking about how to make the products we work on better because I'm out there using them.
Customers, like Amelia herself, have always been at the core of the business. And it's Chris's job to make sure they're taken care of.
I'm Chris Fedeshin. I'm a customer experience manager with onX Maps, so I make sure that we get back to all the customers that need help with our products. Phone calls, emails, SMS, supporting customers on social media, that sort of thing, making sure people know how to use the product. Authenticity is super important to us, so almost everyone we hire has a passion for the outdoors. They love to get outside and do the same things our customers do.
Another way to assess customer needs is through analytics.
Understanding how people navigate through our products and how they use them when they're in the field and when they're planning for their adventures or for their hunts. That would be like the overarching scope of product analytics. You know, say we release a new feature, we learn quickly like what seems to be working well with a feature, where there might still be room for growth and improvement. I mostly enjoy hiking and camping. Just like most people at onX, we live and breathe it both at work and outside of work.
For me, hunting and fishing. Growing up, that was what we did. It's core to our business to make sure our employees live and breathe, whether it's, getting outside and hiking, hunting, fishing, off-roading. The idea is like we're all customers of our own product.
Most of my time outside of work is spent hunting and fishing, so being able to have a hand in it, how it's built, and get to use it and have real world success is probably makes my day.
I love to hunt. I archery hunt, I rifle hunt. I love chasing large animals, a little bit of skiing. I'm also a mountain biker, kind of like the typical suite of Montana activities.
I love the outdoors. Born and raised here in Montana, so it's a staple in my life.
Personally, I do hike a little bit more and ski, and so I'm a little bit more into backcountry, but I also grew up doing a bunch of off-roading with our ATV and stuff.
Born and raised elk hunting, so I've elk hunted my whole life. I like to hunt everything else that's in season when I can, just to keep me outside. It's very rewarding knowing that what I'm working on is for people that do the same things that I do.
Made for the Outdoors is brought to you by Star Bank, Finishing Trades Institute of the Upper Midwest, Nordic Legend Saunas, Walzer Buick GMC, Bloomington and Roseville, Forever Barnwood.
Welcome to Made for the Outdoors. Any day on the trail is good, but it's even better when you've got a smooth ride. Today we're going inside Shock Therapy to see how they rebuild and revalve shocks so you can use them out here. The great outdoors. Shock Therapy specializes in suspension tuning. They rebuild and revalve shocks for the plushest ride possible. We've got our Polaris Razor Pro R that we got from Ride Now in Concord, and it's a great machine out of the box, but you can see a little low to the ground, low clearance. It won't be that way for long because we're about to give it the shock factor. All right, Austin, we've got our stock machine over here, but I think it's time to give it the Shock Therapy treatment.
Yes, yeah. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna put full spring kit on there. Obviously our Shock Therapy billet forks, and we're gonna give it the whole works. We're gonna give them ride improvement system and rebuilds. So we're gonna rebuild the shocks, new seals, fresh oil, all that kind of good stuff. Make it ride really good.
All right, let's get into it. I'm here for it. Time to get my hands dirty. Just taking these seals off. The reservoir piston?
Yep.
Yeah.
Moving forward, we'll go ahead and take all the piston, the valving, all that kind of stuff off here, the seal head, and then we'll replace all these seals, and then we'll go ahead and put our trail spec valving on it. So this car is actually getting an East Coast trail spec. We're doing a lot of bobbing and weaving through trees, a lot of slow speed, a lot of rocks, a lot of roots, tree stumps, all that kind of stuff. So made some revisions, but we got it dialed.
That's cool. So you actually have a very specific design for the terrain that we're in.
Yeah, we give the customer options, you know what I mean? Depending on, their riding style, where they're riding, we can offer multiple different types of tunes. So these are the caps that we pull out of the car itself. What we actually do is we drill and tap these to replace it with the Schrader valve, so that way we can charge them back up with nitrogen. This whole canister in here is just filled with nitrogen. There's a reservoir piston in here that kind of moves up and down. That displaces the shaft, the oil, all that nitrogen kind of holds it into place. So now that the oil is out of it, we take the reservoir piston out of there. And this is what's inside of your shock here. Basically, you got your piston, you got your seal head, you got your dust cap, your bump stop, and then the Pro Rs, Turbo Rs, they all have a what they call like a fork right here where the shaft threads into the actual end loop itself. There's a ton of side load that can happen. What we do is we actually brace the shaft to mitigate the load that gets put onto the shaft. So typically if you get into a wreck or you hit something on the front end, the shaft will actually shear clean off with the fork there. So our design will not let that happen essentially.
Some serious engineer speak there. Yeah, I get it. I'm tracking.
With these, obviously, aside from the piston that's on there, you have your rebound side, your piston, and you have your compression side that's on the opposite side. That's obviously going to dictate the flow of oil, changing that. You know, we have our own secret sauce, if you want to call it, that we put into there to make them ride better.
Next, Austin replaces the fork, which requires fire. We like fire. Got a rag. Get my hands dirty. Working hard. The fork is installed with a generous amount of Loctite. This thing isn't going anywhere. Every shock that comes through the shop gets all new seals. That's where I come in.
Perfect. Just like that, you're a professional.
My job here is done. Time for Austin to add the secret sauce. This next part's top secret, so you guys gotta stay over there. The reservoir is filled with clean oil and then purged of air. A little assembly and the shock is rebuilt. Shocks complete. It's that easy. Next, the stock springs are replaced with shock therapy. That's it?
That's it. That's a sprung shock. Thing's ready to go.
It's a finished shock?
Ready to rip.
All right. Oh yeah. There she is, the finished product, a shock therapy shock, and you always know it's shock therapy when you're riding in a shock therapy machine. Time to throw our shock back on the machine and dial it in. All right, shock's installed. Now we just got to get this thing dialed.
Yep, so shocks are on it. Everything's ready to go. We just need to make sure that the ride height's correct. So we're gonna drive it back and forth, get it settled down. If it's good, we're good, we'll lock it down. But if not, we'll have to pull all the shocks off again and make an adjustment. Hopefully after that we'll be good.
Fingers crossed. Our time in the shop is done. Now it's time to hit the trail.
Made for the Outdoors is brought to you by Star Bank, Sportsman's Guide, Totem Resorts, the premier destination for world-class fishing.
We made it out to Carolina Adventure World, and now we're ready to take this thing for a spin. Back at Carolina Adventure World with a fresh set of shocks. A drizzly morning makes for good visibility, and you know what that means.
I don't know what the technical name is, but it's a pretty cool view, that's for sure.
The best. So this has changed a lot. It's usually all cleared out and things like that, so you can't see quite as far. And there's usually no foliage on the trees when I come here, but.
No, just breaking in the back seat on this Pro R. pretty nice.
So out of the drivers you've been with today,
Yeah.
who's scared your life the most?
Probably Jeremy, honestly.
Yeah?
Yeah, he's a little scary. But we're getting by,
You hear that? He says you're a little scary driving.
It's a compliment. I'll take that.